Hello, and welcome to For Further Review. This evening I have as my guest Mr. Greg Lyles, and I'm going to let Greg explain what his title is and what his job entails.
Good evening. My title is Coordinator of Community Initiatives and Teacher Performance. As the Coordinator of Initiatives and Teacher Performance, it is my job to develop instructional support programs for teachers that help ensure student learning, assist with teacher evaluations, provide assistance with remediation and renewal of teachers when necessary. I also work with community organizations, government agencies, in setting up partnerships that will engage our parents and our schools in programs that benefit our children. I also will be developing a model program for parents and community engagement.
Would you talk to us a little bit, Greg, about the surprises you've had since you've been in this job? You've been in this job now. This is your first year in this position.
That's correct.
I asked you to come and do some of the things citywide that you had done in your own school. So could you talk to us about any surprises that you've had?
Really, it has amazed me when I began to work with community organizations and government agencies. They are really eager to partner with our school district. They've been waiting for the opportunity to work with us in developing programs for our parents and for our children.
Greg, I know that in the past we've had strong partnership with MTSU, but you certainly have done a lot to build that partnership to even a greater relationship than what we had before. Could you talk a little bit about what we have done this year with MTSU and the expansion that you have made there?
One of the expansion programs that we are working on this year is called Club Marvell. It's a program designed to recruit 100 of our kids from across the district to participate in this program. We have teacher leaders from the district that help support the program. We meet one Saturday a month on the MTSU campus, and a different department on the campus each month sponsors the program. Our first program in October was basically focused on aerospace. The kids had an opportunity to experience the airport, the simulation labs at the airport, and also the simulated control tower, which is located on the MTSU campus in the aerospace building. The second program in November was centered around math, and that partnership, the kids were exposed to a lot of hands-on math activities on that particular Saturday. So we're excited. Some of the upcoming programs involve aerospace, environmental education, the astronomy department, and then the kids will also in the spring have a visit to the MTSU campus along with their parents and touring the campus.
Okay. Could you also talk just a little bit, if you don't mind? I know that there was a partnership that we had that involved science with MTSU, and it's my understanding that now we have a partnership with Parks and Rec that also has to do with science. Could you talk a little bit about those partnerships?
One of the partnerships that have been ongoing with MTSU was started with the grant from the National Science Foundation. It was called Club Neutron, and where the kids once a week were exposed to hands-on science activities with the assistance of the MTSU personnel. Then we also developed a program that's been going for about 3 summers now called Camp Prism. And again, the kids were, during the summer, involved in programs that were planned by the Murfreesboro City Schools staff in conjunction with the MTSU staff.
Okay. And could you talk a little bit about what we are planning to do with Parks and Rec? I know that there's some after-school programming that's been going on there that I think is modeled after PRISM, I believe.
With Parks and Recs, we are doing a program once a week at Patterson Center for our kids there. And it's, again, a hands-on science program which is taught by some of our city school teachers.
Okay. One other thing that you're responsible for, of course, is the Family Resource and Learning Center. Could you talk a little bit about the vision of those centers and how you see them developing and what benefit they will be for children and for families?
We have focused on, or we have changed our focus on the Family Learning and Resource Centers to more of a program where we empower our parents, we equip them with the knowledge and information they need to help better their situations. We are providing programs for them on a regular basis at our Family Learning and Resource Centers. Programs like how do you help your child succeed in school, reading to your child, just the whole list of programs that we have developed and are implementing to empower our parents. So that's been a shift in focus for us, because more or less in the past we've been more or less kind of providing a different kind of support, I would say, for the parents, as opposed to more empowerment focus that we have begun to do now.
Okay, I want to shift focus just a little bit again. You are responsible for being a representative with the Bicentennial. And I know you've been working on that. In fact, you have a float that you've actually been working on. Could you talk a little bit about the activities of the Bicentennial and what we might expect in December? Because I believe that's our month that we are supposed to have, and we're really supposed to focus on education. So could you kind of hit that just a little bit for us?
Since July, we have been working on the December celebration of the Bicentennial for the City of Murfreesboro. Our committee has developed 3 activities for the month of December, which focus on our teachers. The first activity is December 9th and 10th, is the Christmas at Cannonsburg. We have partnered with the Parks and Recs Department in planning this particular activity, where the city school students will be performing those 2 days from 6 to 9 p.m., along with the other activities that Cannonsburg has planned for those nights. Our second activity is December 11th, is the Christmas Parade for the City of Murfreesboro, which starts at 2 o'clock, and the city schools will be having a float in that parade. And several of our city schools' children will be participating, representing their schools in the parade as well. And then our third activity is December 17th at Bradley Museum and Cultural Center, is a reception honoring retired educators from across our community, which includes Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, and MTSU. As a part of that celebration, we've been working with Channel 3 in putting together a documentary. It's very exciting. It's going to debut at that event December 17th at 12 at Bradley Museum, and we certainly hope the public will come and help us honor our retired educators. So those are the 3 main activities that we have planned for December in celebration of the Bicentennial.
Great. Could you talk a little bit about what your vision is for this position, and how it fits into the vision of the Murfreesboro City Schools?
My vision for the position as far as coordinator of community initiatives and teacher performance is, one, to bring all of our partnerships somewhat under an umbrella, somewhat like the model of the Harlem's Children's Zone, and to continue to strengthen those partnerships with our city, to develop programs that benefit our children and families and our teachers, and to also continue to work with our principals in helping our teachers to become stronger, to help them weather the new evaluation program that the state has developed for us. So that's kind of where I see this program, my position going. One of the particular emphasis is putting together our model for the Harlem's Children's Zone.
Right. What would be your advice for anyone going into education, wanting to go into teaching?
My advice would be to make sure it's what you want to do. You're not doing it for the money, but you've got to have a love for children, a love for people, and if you have that love for children and people, I think you can be successful in the education profession.
Well, thanks for being part of Murfreesboro City Schools.
Thank you.
And thank you for your support. We look forward to seeing you next month. Have a great